My name's Barry Emerton. I was born in London in 1948. Moved to Australia as a 7-year-old. Grew up in Mount Gravatt in Brisbane. Joined Dicky Beach Surf Club in late 1964 at the age of 16. Well, I was apprentice fitter and turner, closely followed by 2 years in national service, and I never really went to do my trade. When I got out of the army, I moved pretty well straight up the coast here and started work, well, we introduced the Caloundra Block Company, which I helped build from the ground up. When I was badly injured there, I finished my working career working for Chandler's Electrical Store as a salesperson, and then I retired. I joined North Caloundra Surf Lifesaving Club at the age of 16 within my first year of my apprenticeship. How I ended up coming up here, being that I lived on the south side in Mount Gravatt, was that 2 of my mates from school were already members here, Les Cooper and Dave McCleary. So somehow I ended up coming up here, and that was my introduction. I joined North Caloundra as a teenager. Life member number 5 is Phil Moy. Life member number 6, Bob Flynn. Both recently, sadly, left the planet. They were great friends of mine and mentors, actually. We had a progressive system back in those days where you learnt the job on the way through. Well, I do have a nickname, and it's MO. However, it has extrapolated out a little bit at times to MO the Whinger. That was given to me by a bloke who I used to row surf boats with, Dave Sleaford, who wrote a song about me, which I'm quite proud of. In lifesaving, what drives me is the want to do good for the public. It always has. Even in my later years now, I still can't help myself and do it. It's just it's just in me, I suppose. Well, I'm definitely not introverted. Pretty well out there person. Hard to talk about yourself, I suppose, but I reckon I'm a reasonable guy. I have respect for people, and I love Surf Life, this association that I've dedicated my life to. But as a junior delegate, I used to attend the branch meetings back then, the introduction to being on committees and stuff. And a chap called Jack Spender was the president of the branch, who happens to be the late father of Enid Trail. I watched that man, it was an inspiration, and I thought to myself even back then, if I could ever be like he is, as a person and an official and a mentor, which he was to me, even though he didn't really know me. And I did, when he passed away, I wrote a letter to Enid personally explaining that situation. Jack had also been a life member of Met Caloundra, which is our arch enemy round on Kings Beach. I was awarded life membership in 1981. I don't know how the nomination got about, who nominated me or seconded me. It was a complete surprise, really, but turning up at the AGM and then walking out as a life member along with Phil Moy just was one of the better days of my life. Pretty hard, yeah. The feelings I had right there and then was hard to take in, I suppose. And it was only in the years to come that the gravity of the responsibility and the honour really started to take effect on me. Well, as time marches on, the awarding of life membership still holds, well, there's nothing better I've ever done, to be honest, in my career, other than family and stuff. But it means exactly the same. The club respects the position well, and I'm proud to wear me life membership shirt at any time. To be a life member, to me, should, and I think pretty well does cover a broad spectrum of attributes, I suppose. You could be the most fantastic administrator, or on the opposite side of that, you may well be the best instructor, a lifesaver on the life-saving side of it. So if you can't, in my view, like make it a one-off, set criteria. Through my career in lifesaving, there's been quite a few things that have stood out to me, I suppose. Life membership would stand out as number one. I have won a Queensland Surf Boat Championship. That's probably number two. And I have done some pretty outrageous rescues through my career on my own at certain times of the day when I wasn't patrolled. They never were acclaimed, but to me, one in particular, at our club's 50th anniversary, a lady walked up to me, tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around, I didn't know her, and she said, "I never ever thanked you, Barry." And I said, "Sorry, I don't know who you are." She said, "You rescued me in 1965 when I was a teenage girl." And I had. And that made me, that was one of my better, first time anybody's ever really thanked me, I suppose, for what I've done along those lines. This is a bronze statue of the original surf lifesaver with the real line and belt. It's looking a bit sad at the moment, but it's meant to stay that way. That travel, when I move anywhere, this is first packed away, and it's the only thing that if my house burnt down, I'm saving that. This statue is the perpetual memory for me of my achievement as a life member of number 4 of North Caloundra / Dicky Beach Surf Club. My activity levels to do with the club now are mainly, are all, to be honest, administrative. I'm still on the board of Surf Lifesaving. I'm on the history committee. I'm also, previously, I've been on the board of the supporters club. So I'm still reasonably active, but I'm a non-active lifesaver these days. Being a life member, we do, as a group, communicate, not so much in meetings at times, but we do have them at least 2 or 3 times a year. It's more to do with phone calls. The club president in particular at the moment, Peter Aiken, he interacts with me, has his advisor on the board on a regular basis, and it gives me I'm not trying to change the world for him, however he does value my input from my history. So yeah, and I think, I know that we need to step back a little bit, I suppose, but it's just when the club's ready for that is up to them. Surf lifesaving, to me, has been what I've done ever since I sort of learned how to swim properly. So what it's given me in life is a sense of community, love for the fellow man, I suppose. I've had some fantastic friendships this club has given me, a good sporting career, and a pretty well happy life. Surf lifesaving is, in my view, tending to lean a bit towards the more professional side of it these days. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not sure yet. Being from the old days, I have this feeling of let's keep the tradition as tradition, but with the moving times, I know that things are going to change. So yeah, it's hard to describe what I think the future might be, but hopefully I'll be around for a few years to see what it is. To lifesaving in particular, what I've found through the years is that most young people that join surf clubs, and this is not the only reason I recommend they do or could, is that when you enter the workplace, you only need to mention that you're a member of the Surf Lifesaving Club and you will move further up the scale. Now, I do talks at schools occasionally, and I recommend it to the pupils that I talk to. Some of them are already in different surf clubs and they've already got a start. So it's a start in life. It teaches you teamwork, responsibility, and a sense of worth, I suppose.